Hello again. In this video lecture, I will discuss what are the D and L isoforms in glucose and how ultimately these D and L isoforms are exist. Or as you can see here, the topic for today's video lecture, as I mentioned here, right on the board, is D and L isomerism in glucose. So, I will discuss what are the D and L isomers are in context to glucose and why ultimately or when a glucose molecule is said to be present in D isoform or in an L isoform. So, in order to explain the things much more better, I here drawn the two structure of glucose and represents both these structure as structure A. As you can see here, I here mentioned the structure A, abbreviated the structure as STR. This is the structure A and this one is the structure B. So both these structures represents the glucose. As we know, glucose is an aldohexose sugar. Aldohexose. Aldohexose means the glucose molecule contains an aldehydic group or an aldehyde group along with 6 carbon atom. So you can easily see here that this particular molecules which I represented here, that is the glucose, contains an aldehydic group or an aldehyde group, as well as each molecule contains the total number of 6 carbon atoms, as you can see here. The structure A is also contain an aldehyde group which I here represented as CHO as a first carbon atom in structure B, and also here in the case of structure B also I here represents the aldehydic group at first carbon atom. So both these structure contains the aldehydic group along with a total of 6 carbon atoms. So you can here see that both the molecules are similar in context to the aldehydic group, as well as they are also similar along with the terminal carbon atom which I here represented by an arrow, that is the terminal carbon atom, that is the last carbon atom, and the last carbon atom in both the molecules is CH2OH. However, as you can see here, the molecules are differ among in the orientation of hydroxy groups. As you can see here, in both the molecules, they contains the number of hydroxy group. It is present in structure A, and same here in the case of structure B. There is a number of hydroxy groups are present. So how we can discriminate a glucose molecule as a particular glucose molecule as if it is present in a D form, that is the capital D, or when a glucose molecule is said to be present in a L form, that is the capital L. So here D and L forms ultimately represents the orientation of hydroxy group. Now again the question arises, as this glucose molecule contains multiple hydroxy group in their structure, So which ultimately or which hydroxy group must be considered in order to know that which particular structure of glucose is represents or is exist in D form and which one is exist in L form. So in order to determine both these isoforms, that is the D form and L form, it is important to know that what is the orientation of hydroxy group present to the carbon adjacent to the terminal carbon atom in the molecule. What is the terminal carbon atom here? As you can see here, terminal carbon atoms means the carbon atom which is present at the last or the tail carbon atom. So I here represent the tail carbon atom in both the structure and numbered them accordingly as 6. So 6 carbon atom or 6th carbon atom in structure A represents the terminal carbon atom, and likewise here also in case of structure B, as you can see here, the 6th carbon atom in this particular structure is also represents the terminal carbon atom. Terminal carbon atom means the last carbon atom which is present in this particular molecule. As we have begun our numbering right from the aldehyde group as per the rule, and hence the last carbon atom is the 6th carbon atom. So what is the orientation of the hydroxy group present on the 5th carbon atom? It will ultimately help us to determine whether our glucose molecule is present in D form or whether our molecule will present in an L form. So let us see what is ultimately the configuration of the structure A, and you can here see that structure A, in structure A it is contains an aldehyde group right at the first position, and simultaneously 2, 3, 4 and 5 carbon atoms contains the different orientation of hydroxy group, and the 6th carbon atom is the CH2OH. So as per rule, we have to see the neighboring carbon atom to the terminal carbon atom or the carbon atom adjacent to the terminal carbon atom. What is ultimately the orientation of that particular functional group or the hydroxy group present in the terminal carbon, adjacent carbon atom to the terminal carbon atom. So here, as you can see, at the 5th carbon atom, that is the carbon atom adjacent to the terminal carbon atom, the hydroxy group or the OH group is present on the left side. Hence, this particular glucose molecule exists in L isoform, or it is called as L glucose. So this is the capital L, not the small l. So as I'm repeating this point again also, here the hydroxy group present in the structure 1 is right on the present on the left side, and hence this particular molecule is said to be L glucose. Now let us see what ultimately the configuration or the orientation of hydroxy group present in the structure B. So here also we have to emphasize the 5th carbon atom, which is the adjacent carbon atom to the terminal carbon atom, that is the CH2OH, and here in structure B we again have to know the orientation of hydroxy group which is present on the 5th carbon atom, which is the neighboring carbon atom to the terminal carbon atom, and here you can see that hydroxy group is present on the right side in contrary to the structure A. So here in structure B, the hydroxy group, as you can see here on the 5th carbon atom, is present on the right side. So this particular structure B of the glucose represents the D isoform, the capital D isoform, and hence this molecule of glucose is said to be the D glucose. So this is how we have to determine, or we have to identify the D and L isoform in a glucose, and this is what the basic principle, and which ultimately helps us to determine whether whatever the molecule we are identifying on the basis of structure, it represents the D form, that is the capital D form, or the capital L form. Now I here want to further emphasize that the capital D and the capital L are somehow not similar to small d and small l. I will anyhow explain this particular content, that is what is the meaning of d and l ultimately, in my next lecture. However, I here just emphasize, or I just restrict my lecture only to the d and l isomerisms in the glucose, or how ultimately we are able to know that which is the final isoform of glucose is represented, or how ultimately we will know that which ultimately isoform of the glucose is represented by the structure, and how ultimately we have to determine that the structure represent whether D form or the structure represent whether the L form of the glucose.